Hello and welcome to another update video about Polygon MATIC. Just a quick update here because not too much happened on the looking at the bigger time frame. Really, we're moving here on the 1 hour chart in this ascending wedge structure. This is currently where probably the developments for the next few weeks and maybe even months are being decided. We have two possible wave structures. We have a short-term bearish case, and I'll tell you which conditions need to be fulfilled for the short-term bearish case. Then we take a look at the short-term bullish case. The bullish case could really lead to a substantial breakout to the upside and lead eventually to $1, $2, or $3 and beyond. In the short-term bearish case, this is the white wave count. We have completed or are in the process of completing a fourth wave in an ABC, or rather actually WXY corrective structure. So we would have a corrective move to the upside of the 10th of June low, a wave X to the downside, which is also a corrective structure, and the Y wave is a 3-wave move ABC. This is certainly a decent, this gives us certainly a decent likelihood for another low at this stage. But at the same time, the development of a diagonal is likely. It is difficult at the moment because Bitcoin is expected to form one more high. What I need to see is a healthy wave 4 though. I mean, it is even hard to say that we have this WXY complete. I mean, WXY is complete, but ideally, we could also look at this as a possible ABC structure. In an ABC, we need even one more high in a C wave. Yeah. So I cannot rule out that even if we get one more high, it could still just simply be an ABC. That's why I would like to see a healthy wave 4. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are never guarantees. So if it is, what I want to get to is we need to see 5 waves up in the yellow count. That would be the short-term bullish count. The problem is it's not impulsive, it's only a diagonal. In a diagonal, you always need to be ready that price could break below support. It is going to be the first decent pullback highlighted here in the ABC structure that will tell us the truth. Because if it's not an impulse, only a diagonal to the upside, it could easily be a correction as well. You cannot really distinguish between them, okay? But if you can count 5 waves up in a possible diagonal, it needs to be the subsequent pullback in 3 waves that will tell us the truth to get to a more bullish setup. But okay, just for now, I want to get to the idea that it is corrective, what we're doing here to the upside. It could be a WXY structure. Even if we get one more high, it could just simply be an ABC, a 3-wave move in a wave 4. Breaking above the 71 cent level, which is the 50% retracement here, would make MATIC a little bit less bearish than initially expected, because it would then break above the typical wave 4 resistance, which is again up to the 50% retracement. Anything above that would be, let's say, at least less bearish than originally anticipated. But it wouldn't necessarily be bullish. It will only get bullish if we get 5 waves up and 3 waves down. Okay, very, very important. Now, looking at this structure at the moment, we're moving in a tiny, tiny triangle here within a larger ascending wedge. An ascending wedge is typically a pattern that would break to the downside. Yeah, so be ready for a possible breakdown. I mean, this is deeply corrective. I cannot tell you any impulsive price action here at this stage. And at the moment, I would be looking for a move to the downside, but I would still give it the chance and decent probabilities for one more high in the yellow wave count. Yeah, absolutely possible, especially given that Bitcoin is expected to form another high. But as long as we only have 3 waves, I give it decent probabilities to break down. And it's just something we need to be ready for. So it's a possible trend change here. Unfortunately, not very clear because the movements to the upside are weak and corrective. So at the moment, what we need to be watching for is support here at this swing low at 55.7 cents, the 16th of June low. A break below that would indicate that we are in the 5th wave to the downside, targeting possibly 48.5 cents or 41 cents. These will be the next relevant support levels. The 48 cent level, or 48.5 cent, is relevant for the larger, big picture, bullish scenario. So of course we could get one more low, but it could still be part of the bullish scenario. Looking at the bigger picture, we need to hold the 78.6 retracement in this larger bullish scenario. Okay, now let's talk about the short-term bullish scenario because we just talked about short-term bearish, one more low likely, and we talked about what needs to be fulfilled to get there. Now, in the short-term bullish scenario, the yellow wave count is in control. At the moment, it's literally just waiting for a signal of the market, okay? So we're just moving in a corrective move, and we just need to wait for the market to tell us, okay, do we get one more high or not? That's what the market has to tell us, has to decide. And if we get 5 waves up, at least if we can count 5 waves up, we can explore the idea of a diagonal. It would then form, after 5 waves, a possible wave 1. And the subsequent 3-wave pullback, if that is holding, is a 78.6 retracement. And I can only really measure that as soon as we have the first 5 waves up. If it's holding a higher low in a wave 2, then we have a good so-called 1-2 setup, which could provide the opportunity for a long trade from a support area that we cannot define at this stage yet. So as you know, trading involves a lot of waiting for a good setup. I think we're currently just exploring if we can get to one of these decent setups. You know, we're looking for a reliable reversal setup in that price can form a 5-wave move to the upside. And then we're waiting for a 3-wave pullback, and that gives us a so-called 1-2 setup, one of the best trade setups in Elliott wave. If it breaks down early, then the chances are very high that it will make a new low. And if it forms a 5-wave move down here, it will also obviously invalidate the direct bullish scenario, and we're waiting for one more high. For another attempt, okay? So at the moment, it's just waiting for the market to fulfill the requirements for the setup. So one more low at this stage is very likely, but we cannot rule out the development of a diagonal, especially given Bitcoin's possibility to form another high. Actually, the expectation for Bitcoin to form another high. So again, this has decent odds. A wedge pattern typically breaks to the downside. It's just a question when, and when it breaks down, that will also define and help decide where we are. Because if it breaks down now, we clearly only have 3 waves up, and it would be very likely for it then to make a new low. However, if it does something like that, for example here, bounce off again, make one more high, and it comes down, then it would increase the probabilities that it will make a higher low. So the time when it breaks to the downside is very important. Yeah, that's my update about MATIC. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.